groups. All right, fucking ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again. AOU. What I'm going to do now, immediately, what I do is I share it. I share it inside everybody's group chat. And by the way, if you don't want me to share it in your group chat, I completely understand. The best way to fix that is to kick me out of your group. Just completely kick me out of your group, because if I'm in your group, I'm going to share it. You can tell me, hey, you're not supposed to do that, and I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it every single time. And so the best thing that you can do, possibly ever, is get rid of me. You know what I mean? And that's what I hope happens, so that you have peace, because I want you to live peacefully. But I do enjoy causing chaos and mayhem, and if you happen to be in the middle of that, that's what the fuck is going to happen. You are getting a piece too. Let me see here. Have we already did that one? Did we do, we did tri-state. We did, oh, you already got it inside that. All right. These chats, they move so fast that it's actually hard for me to, fuck around. Ape chain, it's definitely going in there. They're going to be pissed. This isn't ape chain stuff. Well, we're going to touch on some ape chain degeneracy here in just a little bit, because we've got some big fucking news there on that side. I'm still sharing this. There's a lot of group chats, a lot of them, and I'm trying.
I don't know. Should I go on Lord's live, or should I hit Brittany's live?
Probably Brittany's. I have a feeling that she's going to get more traction than we are. I don't know why. I think just the algorithm favors her. Maybe it's because she's had a longer account. There could be several factors on why the Twitter algo favors her. I'm not really sure what it is. Do you have any guesses, Eddie?
God's favorite.
That part.
Let's see here. All right, we're almost done here. We're almost done sending this out to everybody.
That's all good. How you guys been?
Bro, it's been busy. I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes that I've not released yet, but I'm stoked about. Shout out to our friends all over. I went on Twitch, by the way, just to check it, just to be like, what's going on here? Did you know we have 38 followers on Twitch? There are 38 people who are following us on Twitch. Yeah, dude. I was shocked by that. I was like, oh, well, shit. Thanks, man. Thanks for fucking being a part of it. You got to clean this up. Yeah. I don't know if that made it better or worse. But, yeah, shout out to our folks on Twitch. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to the folks on X. We're fucking here, man. We're making it happen. We got a great fucking guest today. Big bad hoarder, a man of many names, a man of many businesses. But yeah, man, let's start off. How the fuck are you, Eddie and Britt?
Feeling good, feeling great. We're excited for Robinhood's earnings call at the end of this month, and super excited to catch up with Hoarder.
Fuck yeah, bro.
And don't forget, Brittany's birthday is going on all month until the last day. So that just
my birthday present is Robinhood's earnings calls. We'll be on a camping trip, but we'll be coming down the mountain just for that, to connect to Wi-Fi.
Are we gonna be able? So we're not gonna be able to do a live stream for that one.
They won't be live. It won't be a video call. As far as we know, they haven't scheduled any video calls or anything. But yeah, of course.
We'll be back to recap it on Thursday that night, though. So
fuck it. Okay. Perfect. That works out. Hoarder, how the fuck are you, homie?
You're on mute.
He's on mute.
Whoops.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. Yeah. We moved to this new format. We're going once a week. We're doing video now. So you're gonna be able to. I only included one, but you're gonna be able to see what some of the new format includes. Stuff that I have to promote right off the fucking bat. Make sure you tune in every Thursday night at 9 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't already, make sure that you are checking out stuff for not, ladies and gentlemen, for not NFT NYC. Let me see. How do I share that? It's going to go present. We're going to go share screen. We're going to go not NFT NYC is what we want to check out. Bro, it is fucking going down. Shout out fucking Board Bagels. Shout out fucking Board Trading Co. Shout out Jason. Crypto Dad, Spirit Punks, Board IP, Degen Doses. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the fucking fourth year. The fourth year that we have done this madness where we take over. It's a hostile takeover, by the way, a complete hostile takeover of New York, where us and our degenerate friends go. We rent out a theater. We hype everybody up on drugs and alcohol, have a wonderful time with great speakers, and then we unleash them all on New York City after that. So make sure you're preparing for that. It's going to take place June 26th, Thursday, June 26th in Manhattan at the Producers Club this year. So I'm excited about that. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit, but I also want to make sure you check out Eddie's website. Eddie, I wish you would give me the link to that. He's like, what website? It's a website that he has. It's a secret website that nobody knows about, but he has a
not even Eddie. It doesn't look like Eddie knows about it either.
Yeah, no, he does. He sells a bunch of good shit. Now, here's the thing: he also has a lot of really like a bunch of culture shit that he has on there. But he slangs it, bro. He finds
we do everything
deals
over here. And I read a good post today that said, no one should know how you're making your money. So you can firmly believe Laura doesn't even know how I'm making my money right now, and that's one of my good friends. So keep it close to your chest. One of the 48 laws of power, and keep grinding.
All right. Well, fucking one thing that you don't want to keep to your chest is Brittany's doggy treats that she's been working on, because those dogs I hear will rip a hole in your chest to get one of those doggy treats. So yeah, dude, I want to make sure that we promote those as well. Yeah, I want to start doing ads for those. I'm already formulating funny fucking ideas.
We already claimed a good domain for that. That will be under ladogtreats.com, ladogtreat.com. So,
oh my God, that name wasn't taken.
I said, how did we get that? Nobody's going to type out the extra S. It was just absolutely perfect. But I could tell it was a domain that somebody gave up on.
Yeah, so. I hated it, though, because when I looked like healthy dog treat taken, holistic dog treat taken, best dog treat, all those going for 7 to 12K or so just for that. We came up on a ladogtreat.com. So that'll be a good one. We've already got a really great recipe. It's literally so good that humans could eat it. Like Brittany was snacking on some of it. But it's all it's high protein, high fiber. Brittany could tell you all the ingredients in it, but it was so cool to see her she was grinding up the what is it called? Oats, and using that as the flour, as the flour that keeps it all together. But protein, all the good stuff. And we got a great recipe. So I think that's the first part right there, right, is getting the great product, and then obviously we're leading into brand development and stuff. But we have so many great willing test subjects, like all these dogs around here and our neighbors and stuff, so everyone's willing to try out these snacks, and look forward to dropping that on you guys.
Yeah, Brittany, I don't have a dog, but you can send some over. I'll give it to my kids.
Well, that's funny that you say that.
It, honestly.
If they need protein and fiber, it's going to be a great treat, actually.
They do.
For any dog owner out there, I mean, if you're obsessed about your dog the way we are, I mean, you're obviously picking up poops and stuff every day. And I think that would be the number one seller on there. You can put this in the advertisement, Laura. Best poops in LA. You get the best poops.
I would say if somebody ever saw my camera roll, they would think I'm such a freak for the amount of dog poop photos I have in my
She
camera
just drops
roll.
me a photo of Lucy's poop, and it's
it
looks great. Look at this.
No, it's funny that you say give it to the kids, because Brittany actually hates kids, and so to test them out, she would go to the local elementary school and hand them out, and then wait till after school to see if there's any reports of kids shitting too much. And then she needed to reduce the fiber and stuff. But there's no way.
Testing on humans.
Yeah,
testing on humans. Loved by kids. I love by dogs.
I thought you were gonna say Brittany's then goes to the bathroom and checks on their poop.
No. That's fucking rough.
Dropping a new lore.
That's rough.
That's the marketing campaign right there. It's just pictures of poop. That's the healthiest poop I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know,
literally.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, feel free to drop a comment. We do show them on the stream, and we do fucking shout you out. And you might have a controversial take that we haven't thought about, or that you want to argue with us about, which is also fine. Dudes, so look here, I want to start off right away with not NFT NYC. I'll be honest, there was a part of us that was like, are we going to do it again this year? What are we planning? What does the market look like in LA? And so before we go further, I need that recap, that NFT LA recap.
Go ahead, Britt. Give them the NFT LA recap.
So
She
great.
scanned both of her retinas for WorldCoin.
So great to catch up with some crypto people, some crypto Twitter people. Great drinks by Sailor Gary. Thank you. Good time just catching up with some people from Loud Punk, some people that we don't share communities, but we're in the same space. And yeah, it was nice that it was close to home. That's what I'll say.
Oh man,
we end up trickling on some alpha. I guess the WorldCoin community wasn't supposed to divulge this to us. There's a couple articles out there, but so you guys can read them. But I guess WorldCoin and Visa have like some projects in the works and stuff. And it had already previously been known, but it was still a little bit low key. So they announced that a little bit at their WorldCoin event for NFT in LA. And, that caught Brittany and I's ear, Visa being a publicly traded company, and obviously WorldCoin being Sam Altman's baby.
We were in the room like, how is nobody like picking
So
up on this?
yeah,
right
so we
now?
took pictures, posted it, whatever. And then the organizers actually ended up reaching out and letting us know to delete that because that was too much alpha. So just to let you guys know, there's still a lot of alpha out there. You just got to show up in the right rooms. But it was cool. I think the event we went to was centered around like crypto projects, investors, and then WorldCoin specifically. So a little bit of mix of everything. Obviously, you got AI, you got tokens. So, but that was the only event that we went to actually.
Doing it on Easter weekend was a little bit chaotic.
Yeah, that seems like a crazy thing to do. I mean, people are with their families and things like that, especially doing it in LA. I mean, everybody is celebrating Easter in LA. That's a wild thing. So that's what's funny to me is that there's articles written about it, and they're like, no. Yes, we have articles written about it. Go after the guys with sub 10K followers and fucking tell them to fucking. You know what I mean? Like that's wild, bro.
We just deleted it.
But also, like, how do you not get clearance on what? Anyways, mouth shut. That was the event.
That's the benefit of being. But that's the benefit of being at crypto events now is like you really are so early. So I remember like 3 years ago when we first threw NFT NYC, we met Alex Finn, which is NFT God. And I remember him even saying then going to not NFT or NFT NYC, you're able to rub shoulders with some of the biggest artists, Fuck Render and Beeple and you can basically rub shoulders with the biggest tech people or people who are interested in crypto. And that's what really these IRL events are always about. It's always about networking and meeting something and creating a relationship moving forward, like past the event. So that's like the main focus.
I would say with that, and that's why not NFT NYC is so important, because I mean that's where Pepe broke. You know what I mean? When Pepe came out, it broke at not NFT NYC. That's where that alpha came from.
Happy anniversary to Pepe. We literally, I mean, that was it. Broke. We were in bed at the hotel. Like, are we about to get out? Like, what's going on? And that really was a life-changing moment. We didn't realize it then, but Pepe, those Pepe bags, those are a little bit of life-changing moments right there.
This is Pepe ring over here.
Yeah. Let's fucking go. And yeah, man. So I mean, we're stoked about bringing it back this year. There are a lot of benefits. Shout out to Pastor Pothead. Pastor Pothead was an attendee, a pastor, and he passed away. So I did put him on the flyer this year. I just wanted him to be like, recognized, and that's what's up. R.I.P. Pastor Pothead. But Jason, you also, I mean, you've been really with it since the beginning. I mean, you brought board bagels out to not NFT NYC. And the other thing I want to point out is that we're not like the other organizers. We will not call you and say, hey, can you take that down? In fact, we encourage you to post anything. One of the most viral posts that came out of that second year was Swan gorging down on those board bagels, and it is still such a fucking moment. I need to screenshot that and put it inside the.
That was awesome.
Thing.
It was like an impromptu bagel review. Web3 Max.
Web3
and
Max
Swan,
too.
And then obviously Jason has his appearance where he's showing the interactive
cheese,
game,
right?
He was debuting it all, and it was such a organic, authentic clip of content.
And then the next year we got Swan to do the hat. So look at that, like right. Synergy that rolls on from year to year. I love it. I love to see it.
Fuck yeah. So Jason, I'm gonna pass it to you kind of a little bit, but you've been here for the past 2 years. What's your take on it, on the event itself? Yeah,
I mean, not NFT NYC. How many? I don't even know. Do people go to the official conference? I know you guys kind of post that picture up as a meme with like the one dude and like 100 chairs. And yeah, I don't know people. I never hear a lot about the conference. I've never gone. It's always been the side events, and I think what has always impressed me about what you guys do in your community is just the diversity and kind of cross section of different communities and collections and Web3, and it's beautiful, right? So I think you guys do a great job capturing that into an events, right? That has music, has IP, has panels, and it's not your typical conference, even though you have panels, right? It's interesting topics, interesting conversation, and I think that's what makes it so great, right? And such a kind of polarizing thing that I think a lot of people find themselves wanting to go back.
Yeah,
do you guys think that the actual event NFT NYC should do a better job reaching out to individual communities, like not NFT NYC, like the board, the different sections of the board apes? Do you guys think they should be reaching out more into those communities, or do you think them holding the actual event and setting everybody up for the sideline events is enough? Is enough contribution?
I have a couple thoughts on this. Number one, I think that you're right. I think that it is great for what it is. Like, you go there, you're like, say you're sponsoring it for the $50,000 or whatever it costs to sponsor that, and you go there and you're able to network with a lot of the people that are doing everything. But the what's up, Ani? But the con of that, where I think they messed up, is that I think that they could have the best of both worlds. I think where they messed up was that they did not tap into the culture of things. They tapped definitely into the corporate side of things and to where the money aspect of it. And I'm sure it's profitable to some, in some way. But I think that where they messed up was the culture and the price point. People don't want to spend $500 for a 3-day conference, and I think that's messed up. And they messed up there. But here's the other thing. This is my other hot take: is that I think that they're going to have to eventually rebrand it. And I think that you're already seeing that in LA, because the NFT market is not what it was in 2020, 2021. So they're going to have to find a way to build it, and so where it encaptures all aspects of Web3, including coins, like we've been doing. Including dApps and things like that. But I think that they're going to have to go and dig deeper and find out how it is that they can switch up keep maybe the model, maybe double down on or jump into those aspects where you reach the communities. But I think that they're going to have to rebrand is what I'm looking at.
I agree, Laura. It started feeling like a cash grab. It's like when they were selling tickets for multi-$100. And then I feel like once people realized, these speakers are paying massive amounts. They're getting sponsored by these companies and paying to be speakers to push their product, to push their code, to push their VC, whatever they have going on. So once you realize, they're paying to shill to us and to kind of get their brand recognition out there, I think you see behind the curtain and it changes the whole feeling of everything.
Yeah, I think in that works at a organic level. I feel like when you push, when you have people selling you at a corporate level, it feels like that. It feels like a sales pitch, you know. But when you have someone organic, passionate about their whatever, their small business, their movement, their club, that is a different interaction when it comes to having the small scale that we have compared to them. But I think you're right. I think even if they just embraced maybe one panel about memes, or you know, one panel about you know, internet culture or something, you know, just to try to jazz it up a bit, I think those will definitely do them some good. But
and lower that ticket price so the public can get in. But Jason, we're talking shit out our ass. If you want to know real business, somebody that does international business, that does business everywhere, it's fucking Jason. So I have to get Jason's take on NFT NYC, what it is like that they're doing right, what they could do a better job of. If Jason was running it, what would he?
And he's one of the people that I would think that they should reach out to, because he comes with a whole squad, you know, like it's not just us three that are there. It's the entire Bored Apes around him. It's the different NFT collections that he's been a part of. Like, he comes with the army. So it's like, you would think that if someone was paying attention to what goes on in crypto, what goes on in real life at crypto events, and you just find that link, you would probably more than often come up on Jason. And that seems like, have they reached out? Have they ever sent you an email or anything? Have you ever tried to curate a side event for them or anything?
Have you ever paid $20,000 to be a part of the event?
No, I mean, I think, you know, that's probably part. I mean, none of this is like things I haven't heard like publicly elsewhere, right? Or on Twitter or in other spaces, because it's not like this just happened last year, right? I think this has been a consistent theme for, you know, 2 or 3 years from at least like kind of my view. And I don't know, like I never really kind of put myself out there, nor do I go out with the intention of putting myself out there. I think it's been a, you know, kind of like a necessary evil in terms of some of the things I'm trying to do, and wanting to build for the community, having to kind of be out there in the forefront, right? If I could, you know, kind of work behind the scenes, you know, and, you know, be like, you know, Santa's elf versus Santa, like I'd rather be his freaking elf, right? Like, you know, have Santa go out there, right? And like, you know, that's true of, you know, Lord and, you know, Squiddy and some of these guys that are great at being what I call like my hype men, right? Like, I'd rather send my hype man or like these guys that just do it so well to be out there in the space and doing all those things. You know, I do lean in probably more on like, you know, getting stuff done or operationally and stuff like that. But, you know, I think to go back to that question is, you know, I think that conversation, that communication, that feedback loop, right? Just I've never seen that come through from them, right? And it's not that they need to have that feedback loop through someone like me. I think you've seen other companies kind of take a, you know, step back and be like, okay, we're screwing up because resoundingly we're hearing this on Twitter, we're hearing this through other people, you know, and then figure out what they can do, whether they hire someone or they engage with the community in a different way. Like, at least there's that conversation. And yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton of people out there that, you know, have spoke and have worked with them that would be a better place to have that conversation. But like, it doesn't seem like anything's happening, right? Or any change is happening. And I think that compounds the perception that it's a money grab, right? And I've never reached out to have a conversation with them directly either. So like, who knows? Like, maybe someone sees this and it's like, this guy's an idiot. Like, you know, we've got to talk to this guy.
He's definitely not an idiot.
But look, maybe there are conversations that are happening, but like, you know, I'll use like OpenSea, for example, right? I think OpenSea compared to Magic Eden, at some point, right, like Magic Eden was much more tapped in with the community and being present in just in the room, right? And you saw that from the communities out there, and you felt that, right? And you've seen a little bit of a shift as they've hired and taken on some other leadership or people on their team on OpenSea to now kind of have a dialogue and be more present and engaged on the timeline.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing, right? I think it's okay. I mean, like this space should welcome building in public, right? And still holding people accountable. But like part of that accountability is the people that build in public and make a mistake or fall on their face, then have to get up and be persistent and making it better the next time. And that's what I don't think we see.
Fuck yeah, bro.
I do feel like it's a good sign that they are listening to a few people for moving it from April to June. So I like that they're moving back to the summer. But another reason that they moved it to April, people are saying, is that it's cheaper to rent out, convention centers do everything in April versus the summer. So that goes hand in hand with the cash grab point. So
and they might be actually listening to the
we'll see what happens. If they're moving it, well, maybe they really are. The markets are back. Maybe they expect NFTs to come back as well. So we'll see what happens.
Imagine, bro, they're replaying this in a boardroom somewhere. Like these fools are shitting on us. They're doing a not.
They got a thread going from Jason. They're like, Lord, they're conspiring on us.
And look, transparency is I haven't attended one, right? But like, that's also resoundingly what I hear from people that show up in New York and they don't go to that, right? And they're just showing up for side events. I mean, that's what I've done.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say, I mean, some of it is talking out of our ass, but, we did have sponsors who were sponsors over there as well that kind of gave us a little bit of information. And we've also shared some speakers that were at our event that also were over there that gave us more information as well. So, I mean, there is some ties there, but I just don't think that I don't think it's as accessible as it should be. That's it. And like you said, building in public is so important in this space. It's like you have to be able to get the crowd there. Like if you can't get the attention, then you don't have anything. Your product could be so good. If nobody sees it, then you don't have a product.
I feel like last year, one of the biggest things I heard was they flew out to NFT NYC for the networking, and they did not get the networking experiences that they expected, except from the side events. So spending that much money on the ticket to go to the convention, you're not getting what you're hoping that you're going to get out of it. Can be frustrating. So I hope we see some of those people again this year.
Here's the devil's advocate point of it, and I got to side with something that Jason said earlier, is that it is in fact a necessary evil, because if NFT NYC didn't exist, then not NFT NYC and none of these other side events would also exist on that, and to be able to happen and get their communities together. So
we wait until we get the date until we can decide the rest of our events.
While we're over here throwing the compliments out, then shout out to Jen for the XYZ thing that they put together.
Shout out to Jen for Sheets.
Put us on there again. Put us on there early. Put all the events on there. We love that. I don't know how connected that is directly to the NFT NYC thing, but that is.
I don't think it's much, but shout out to her.
Whatever the sheets.xyz, that's the one.
She has a whole team that's doing it now. So
isn't that? Yeah. I thought she's doing it. You know who I thought it was for the longest time? I thought it was Snacks. I thought it was Snacks.
It seems like she has a full team that contributes.
Yeah, he's part of it. Snacks is part of it too.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you weren't far off. Yeah.
All right, awesome. So beautiful. Okay, so we covered not in NFT NYC as a whole. We'll be covering a portion of it at every week that we do this, but not NFT NYC. Go ahead.
Before we move on, I'm curious about Jason's side events, if he's going to leak anything to us today, or if we have any kind of alpha coming from him.
What's on the breakfast?
Dude, where are we having brunch?
What are we
man, I don't know yet. I don't know yet, to be truthful. I mean, I think been a little distracted with the Ape Fest announcement and some of these mints that have come through.
It's a great segue. It's a great segue to Ape.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got to have food, right? I think, whether it's bagels, whether it's brunch, or
Gotta eat.
I definitely lean towards brunch these days
That place was
like,
great that you chose, but it was like you've grown the brand so much that I think we need a bigger spot now because that place is a little cramped.
Bro, pizza bagel bites for the morning. Come on.
yeah. I mean, we definitely need to figure out, what that looks like, or maybe it's late night pizza bagels, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe it's the opposite,
snacks.
right?
Maybe
Yeah.
snacks has to come back and
Yeah.
reload the pizza
like
on
that.
the bagels. Yeah.
Yeah. So
good one.
no, we'll definitely have to figure something out, and yeah, I think still cooking around that one, but yeah, we'll share it with you guys, and obviously hope you guys will show up.
Yeah, dude, the folks are definitely gonna fucking show up.
I'll have
Lord
delegate his ape to me. No big deal. I'll be there.
Light work.
like yeah, getting this geriatric old man to figure out the internet and Web3 and delegating and hopefully getting it back in time for Ape Fest. Yeah, dude, light fucking work, bro. Let me see here. So that does give us to a great segue. Fucking MFers, bro. Ape Fest Vegas this year. Thank God they're keeping it in the States. I looked at a flight immediately, a $230 flight round trip. I've never been happier.
You looked. I booked. I already booked.
Oh, wow.
You looked. He booked. While you were looking, he was booking.
You talking about it? I'm gonna be about it.
Yeah, bro. So look, happening October 24th, just a few months after not NFT NYC. What a brilliant motherfucking what a brilliant piece of art that they've done here. It's Curtis in glasses. You can see the strip. I'm seeing aliens, so I'm wondering if there's going to be like an Area 51 type vibe to all of this. I don't know. I mean, we see aliens in a couple different spots, right? So I mean, I'm curious, to see what happens there. The reception was amazing. I do want to go see this, the Punk Rock Museum. I want to make sure I make time to go to that. But dude, look, you got fools. The Bitcoin conference is fucking putting ads here. I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where it's at. And what's crazy to me is that I feel in a way, I mean, I'm equally as excited for not NFT NYC as I am for Ape Fest. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm way more excited for Ape Fest than I am NFT NYC as it is an event, because this is super club focused, but it still brings in people from all different types of communities, because there's all kinds of folks that either come in as a +1 or that also own an ape. I think that the ape price right now is majestical.
What is it, by the way?
I'm thinking it's what, $3,000 somewhere around there, maybe 4,000
for an ape.
No, not for an ape.
For a mutant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Entry into the club,
but the mutant gets you in the club. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you get to go to all these events. And I'm 100%. I'm not even fucking kidding when I say that Ape Fest 100% changed my fucking life. But it was more so the Board In Creator House. So fucking shout out Jason for that. I was able to have a room there. I was able to help out. I fucking learned a lot about setting and staging and what to do there.
You speak about this so fondly. I wish we had content from that, like more things to see from that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was so fucking busy that I did not have time to do a lot of content. But I do have some hidden reels. Some hidden interviews that I could start pulling up leading up to this.
Hell yeah, we need those.
Why are they hidden? Like, are they hidden for a reason?
I'll explain. Yes, I'll explain it.
Lost city of reels.
I'm telling you.
Do I have a reel that I forgot about?
No, here's the thing: is that still at the time
he's asking the right questions.
At the time, I still had the busted ass iPhone 10. And I was just extremely fucking you see all these guys with all this photography equipment. They're all creating about it, and it felt weird. And sometimes also the had a gang of tech issues. The mic wouldn't work, or this would happen, or there, you know what I mean? The setting wasn't right, or it was landscape instead of fucking this. There were just certain little different problems, but I'm going to put everything together leading up to this event. But that inspired me. I remember waking up the day that I was leaving, Lisbon, and of course Jason was there, and I'm fucking looking, and there's this beautiful fucking sunset, man. I mean, this is fucking extraordinary sunset, and I'm coming off of like 3 days of like the most amazing events, very little sleep. It was an awesome time, left, right, up, down. And I remember looking at that sunset or sunrise rather, and being like, I want to do this forever, bro. Like when I think about what it is that I want to do, it's like, this is it. Like hosting events, hanging out with my friends, going around the world. Like this is it.
People don't talk about this enough, but there's not that many jobs that that require like a low inventory, you know what I'm saying? And like one of them, I guess, would be coding. You know, it's like you program something, it's there forever, it's a service, boom. And that's the same with content. People don't put them in the same realm, but that is one thing. You make content, it lasts forever. You put it out once and it's a piece of content. You know, you grab the right interview with the right CEO at the right time, and you have your viral moment. You have your piece of royalty that's going to be streaming into the future.
Also, you don't even know what's going to happen to that. We were just watching a YouTube from people from the 1970s on Wall Street having just, you know, what do you think about privacy? They had no concept of the internet. They had no concept of like what privacy really would mean and what it would be later. And it's just crazy to think that we're looking at these people. They didn't think that they would be on YouTube,
Crypto.
something in their pocket that, you know, we see you from 50 years ago.
Yeah,
it's insane. Creating content is a public good. It's a public service.
Yeah, and you know, happy birthday to YouTube. They just had 20 years, so it's
20
like
years.
So people, and they had their first video uploaded 20 years ago. And now it's everything. It has billions. It's the #2 search engine. Like it's the how-tos, the what's going on. It's everything. And I think that people aren't seeing it now, but content creation is like, it's like being a dev, bro. You're developing content, you're developing news, you're developing stories, and you can build it just like a media company and kind of just let it run on, you know, obviously you have to work, but there's less involved when it comes to programming and content creation. So a lot of similarities there. You could think of yourself as a content developer.
I saw a clip, and I don't know if it was meant to be part of a documentary or where the clip came from, but it was the dudes at YouTube, the guys who started YouTube, and they were practically begging people to like upload
videos?
something.
Yeah.
To upload stuff to their stuff. And then eventually it just caught on and turned to this big giant thing.
I remember I watched a video of them so excited for 20 videos. They were like, oh my God,
Yeah.
20 videos on the platform.
Yeah, dude. Like,
That's good. I can't imagine that feeling. I bet that felt like, oh man, to bottle that feeling and keep it forever. Shout out to them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So and just to move on even from there. So it's like, yeah, you know, you want to do this forever. It's obviously it's doable if you keep putting out the content and stuff. You're building the brand that way, and you know, low overhead and such. So I just think that like it doesn't matter what camera's around or who has what. I'm pulling my phone out. I'm capturing my content because that's my gold, you know, and I'm uploading it. So next time, just upload, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro. Well, we're gonna make it happen. Jason, what's the plan, dude? What is your plan for Ape Fest? Are you on the Donald Trump
squeeze
team?
him for alpha?
Yeah, or is it just the Donald Trump?
Get?
Is it the Donald Trump thing of I have concepts of a plan?
No, I mean, look, I think you know, building off of what has been successful, you know, what challenges existed. You know, I think you know, Ape Concierge was another guy in the club that, you know, organized the Ape Hotel and coordinated a bunch of stuff from transportation to rooms to events.
That limo was sick.
And you know, throughout that process of prepping for Lisbon, you know, we would talk a lot, right? And you know, in hindsight, you know, one of the biggest kind of like realizations is, we probably would have had a lot more synergy and support if we kind of pulled resources to push it forward for the community and the club. So, I think that was, one thing that we followed up with each other on is, when the announcement came out, like we were on the phone that day, kind of discussing the plan and how we want to go about it, right? So, I think he's a real he's a real life kind of VIP concierge, right? He gets tickets to different things, books travel, takes care of, superstars and stuff like that. So yeah, I think there's some of this like, okay, how do we create the right packages and program that, yeah, BAYC, they put on ApeFest is great. That's the main stage. But at the same time, people going to a destination want to go experience that destination, right?
Yeah.
And
True.
they want to hang out with other people in the club. And that's a lot of it, right? Is we want to go explore the world, and there's this internet club where you kind of make friends with people you have never met, and you can go off and then explore these different things and learn different things and network. And Ape Fest really just brings that home like once a year to a destination that everybody kind of just goes to. So how do we make sure we do that, right? To complement what BAYC does. And I think there's people that are saying, hey, we want to go shoot guns in the desert. We want to go to the Sphere and see some, whether it's a band or someone, or we want to go to the Raiders game, right?
Mob tour.
So, yeah. I mean, look, I think that's kind of like going back to what we were talking about is like hearing the voice of the community and now taking that feedback and excitement for what these people want and trying to carve out programming that would serve that function, right? And how do we have that programming while we work in the background to see what kind of funding or other brands and people that also would benefit from partnering with certain events or certain exposure, right? So but hopefully it's a win-win, right? I think it's kind of like architecting those pieces to fit together, right? Like Ape Games is a prime example of that, right? We threw Ape Games as an example of kind of like adult drinking games meets field day. And in Lisbon, it was a home run, right? 200 people played Mutant Pong, which was bear pong, Dookie Hole, which was basically cornhole. We did a whole inflatable obstacle course, and like Adidas partnered with us to give away jerseys, and they loved it, right? And we gave out medals for first place, right? We had tug of war and all of this, and so we kind of made this a competition that people are excited to come back and compete again to have bragging rights for the rest of the year and carry that torch forward, right?
You're gonna do Aquamarine versus Orange again, right? I mean, we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely are, and I think we're also thinking about how do we expand that ecosystem? How do we commercialize this into something that not the same scale, but like, could this be the Web2 touch point to onboard people through almost like the meta around Beast Games and Squid Games, right? There's definitely something kind of interesting.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that live streamed. I would have loved to see that live streamed. It would have been
and
great.
And that's the thing, right? Like we do a terrible job pulling that curtain back. There is 100% something magical around Ape Fest that sure, like the price of it is membership in the club, but that's why people are paying, you know, $5,000 for a unit or $24,000 for a board eight, and that's on the cheap, right? Like you know, that at one point was $400,000 on the floor, right? But like, you know, BAYC, like they throw incredible events, and like, you know, they had who was it? Anderson Paak, right? At this, you know, beautiful venue.
People didn't even know
And
who
I
it
know that was
was.
crazy.
Eddie and
We
Britt
did
were
not
so
get
mad.
the reception. I was looking like that was our first concert together that we like traveled to right after he won
yeah,
the Grammy. I was like, how are you guys not freaking out right now? This is crazy. But
yeah.
yeah, that was
But that's how
cool.
diverse the club is, right? I mean, like it's crazy, and it's hard to kind of put on for that type of group, and it's not going to hit home for everybody, and it doesn't have to, right? Like I think that's where like it's multi-layered, but to what you guys were saying, like we need to do a better job of capturing that and showcasing that. You know, there's a guy on Twitter, DC Roth, who does great videos, and I wish I could produce videos like him and taking the pieces and putting it together. So if you haven't checked that out, it's definitely worth looking at, because he does a great one around Ape Fest, and then he also just pushed out another one yesterday, kind of building up this Ape Fest coming up. That's definitely not him.
I was gonna say, I was like, oh, interesting.
I'll have to find out, find his alias, but you know,
Oh yeah, his name is DC. Yeah, that's him. It's
yeah,
that
that's
is
him.
Roth DC. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean his videos, like you know, I'm probably biased, but like I wonder your take, like Eddie and Brittany, like when if you watch these videos, what you think and how that interests you, excites you about, you know, Ape Fest or the club. And look, you know, this year's Vegas, so I think we can go a lot bigger. So that's Ape Games right there. Um, and you know, that probably is the first community event that they had officially pulled into Ape Fest, in the venue they had. So it was cool to kind of like get the trust to help produce that. Um, and yeah, we hope to build on it, right? And you know, I think major brands, you know, some major brands and partners had gone to Ape Fest, and you know, I think the feedback from them was phenomenal, and that's how you kind of continue to propel the culture forward.
Very cinematic. That was some great videography right there. I would definitely want to know more about this club from that.
I could do that.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna come to Ape Fest? I mean, it's not that far from you guys,
It's
right?
not that far from
It's
us.
not.
And you know how hard it is to get stuff over to like the other side of the country when you're trying to do an event in New York. And then it's also hard to, I'm sure you guys face challenges trying to get events and materials together over in Lisbon too. So this will probably be the easiest trip we've ever had on something. So yeah, this will be awesome. I mean, there's so many great places to stay out in Vegas too. It's like you don't really have to be on the strip. But a lot of people want to because they're waking up at 12 and want to get everywhere, you know, like that. So yeah, no,
we were thinking about Bitcoin Vegas, but then as soon as we heard about Ape Fest Vegas, we were like, I don't know about that. We might have to wait and see what's up with Ape Fest.
Yeah. I mean, you know, would love you guys to come and get your take. And you know, I think there definitely was this kind of onboarding moments, and people you can see kind of enter because they were blue pilled, right, when they came to Ape Fest, you know. And you know, I think that's, you know, that's again like how do we maybe have two sides of the effort, right? Like how do you serve the community in something where it's like a member based thing, versus like, hey, this is how we should also onboard people and a touch point that, you know, really is compelling to anybody, right? Like, you know,
I love that.
yeah, like this full moon party, right? Like it should be something where we're thinking about in like, hey, how do we give access to a handful of people or brands and exposure that way? But like maybe there needs to be a whole nother event that's a little bit more open that,
The NBA thing that should be open to the general public as a whole,
yeah,
always and forever.
I think it was, right?
We were just speaking about how 2021, and it was like, oh, no mutants on stage, and like it was kind of divided.
Don't talk to me unless you have 100K PSP.
We were talking about those days, and it is different now. I feel like because BAYC is one of the only communities that has really stayed together through lawsuits, through floors.
Everyone either soft rugged or hard rugged you.
Yeah. So
they're coming after Polly, by the way. They're fucking coming after him hard. But continue, sorry.
Yeah, they've stood the test of time through all of that, through all of the craziness, all of the madness on the timeline. And now because mutants, apes alike have all gone through it together, I feel like that really bonded the community. And so the sentiment has shifted a little bit, I feel.
Brittany, would you buy a mutant?
I mean, if funds permitted, maybe, possibly.
I mean, it's still expensive, right? But
is there a girl mutant on the floor, guys? We might have to peep that.
Well, we'll have to look. But I think there's also always like some bad actors too that exist, right, in the community, and I think we saw some of those people rotate out, right? So I think that always helps, right?
Yeah,
that helps
a lot of the extractors and grifters and people that were just maybe from every community, not just from BAYC. Yeah. I'm saying just in a whole, like it's really, if you're still here, it's because you have a love for the communities that you're in, you have a love for the space. So I really do think that it is a different feeling now.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, guys, this is a financial show, but it's not financial advice. Bitcoin is doing very well today. We were at 93. Not so bad. Up 10% this week. And also there is a new I wouldn't say it's a Bitcoin ETF, but there's a new SPAC out there called Cantor Equity Partners, ticker symbol CEP.
Up 200-300% today.
Yeah, that was wild. These guys went 200% and then pretty much dropped back down in 26. But this was a SPAC pretty much made by Jack Mallers, the founder of Strike, the Bitcoin app. So there's still a lot of stuff going on where I'm like, these events aren't like, they're so new still. Like, even though 3 years ago we were saying, hey, everybody's early, like, because this progress hasn't went where it is, we are still early. And it's a little weird. You look at the ETH price, it's same price as 3 years ago. You're looking at Bitcoin, we're supposed to be at 300K. We've seen a lot of meme coins go up and down, but I think it is important to know that everybody's not here still. Nobody cares about the crypto. Nobody is diddling with the stable coins.
I don't want to say nobody, because every single month we have gotten some kind of regulation, some kind of act passed, some kind of bill passed that for stable coins, crypto regulation, ETFs. Banks using crypto, ETFs. We have so much regulatory clarity right now that I do feel like things are changing. And because there is a framework for people to operate within, it's going to take out a lot of the bad actors.
Yeah, and if you have an event or you have content, you have media coming out from now and you're an OG, people are looking at people making media content for 3 years in this space as OGs now. And all of us have been doing that. So I just feel like eventually if you stay at it, you stay pinned down and focused on your crypto, your brand, your community, things will pan out. And they have been. So that's absolutely something to highlight.
Yeah. And hats off to you guys. I mean, I know shifting from voice to video is no small effort either, right? So evolving that craft and evolving the quality of production, it's something that not everybody's doing either, right? Like some people are still, they've been here for 3 years, but they're still doing it the same way they've been doing it. So
shout out for Laura for always pushing us further and upward, onward and upward.
Sometimes downhill, sometimes uphill, but he's always pushing. He's always pushing,
This is a financial show. The S and what is it? With the the S&P 500 is up, but they think that it's from the Walmart kind of saying, like, a whole bunch of people actually kind of went to Trump and said, "Hey, man," and I really want Hoarder's take on this. Is it like, "Hey, look, you got to do something about these tariffs, man, because we could have empty shelves." And that's a crazy thing to think about. Did I lose you guys? Everybody is blank right now.
You skipped out for a little bit, but
yeah,
we're back.
but let me see here. All right. So, I mean, they were saying that, like, hey, you could lose a whole bunch of merchandise, or it could be a bunch of stuff that happens here. Yeah, sweeping policy could disrupt supply chains and lead to empty shelves. God damn it, I hate these things. That it could lead to empty shelves in the coming weeks, not even months, bro. In the coming weeks, sources familiar with the White House meeting told CBS. The CEO of Home Depot.
That's the one when Home Depot's when Home Depot jumped in there, Lord.
Why?
Because these are those guys are the backbones. Those guys are the ones who are building the skeleton of America right now. Like, you don't build a house unless you're going to Home Depot. You can't put up new buildings.
But also, when the tariffs were first announced, Home Depot, Lowe's, all of like the consumer stores, they were all up. They were still green when we first started going into this chaos.
And that's the confusion about these tariffs too, is the market is reacting in a behavior way every day to these tariffs, but in actuality, the tariffs haven't affected anybody yet. And so these warnings are coming, with some real caution, because if it does go on for months, they will be affected. But as of now, all the earnings are looking good, and we're in earnings season right now. So Google just actually reported they ended up beating expectations by like 40 cents or something, which is like it's unheard of. Usually, it's like, oh, here's our EPS, and you beat it by like 5 cents, and you say, hey, here you go, Wall Street. We did it. We got you. We're going to beat you again next quarter. No, this time they just blew them out the water. And I think a lot of the earnings that will be coming up, we saw good stuff with the banks last week. And this week we have some tech. And then next week, of course, like I said, we got Robinhood. So
Tesla missed on earnings, but I don't think that anybody was expecting anything less.
That's true. Tesla did miss on earnings.
Only because of terrorists.
We're still blaming the globalists. Remember, Laura?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But yeah, it's good market talk.
Yeah. No. What's funny is we had a productive meeting with President Trump and our retail peers to discuss the path forward on trade. We remain committed to delivering value for American consumers. We have not felt the effects of that, and I'm curious, Jason, how bad would it be? Like, how bad? Like, you don't think it'll be that bad? You think
you're still gonna have bagels on the shelf, right?
Yeah, I think at least we don't have to compete with the Chinese bagels. But yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I think time will tell, but it's usually retail is usually kind of loaded against like the holiday season, right? So I think if there was a time to do it and try to negotiate something out, right? Like this is the time for it. But like the clock is ticking, right? And you've got like ocean shipments that are 45, 60 days lead time to kind of land, right? You can expedite shipments through airplanes, but that's much more expensive. And it's probably more kind of like production time. And if they could pull any supplies up, and front load it in kind of preparation for these tariffs also, right? So,
so you might end up getting a run up into the quarter because people are stocking up, buying extra inventory in anticipation that tariffs are going up. And if tariffs don't go up, then you just had all this surge in buying activity and GDP growth. That's actually something nobody's talking about that either. That's another effect of he's growing the economy with fear in a sense right now.
Yeah. No, I think so, right? Like some people some industries are gonna try to front run it, right? Whether the consumers themselves or the sellers, right? And I think you're gonna see that, right? Cars, right? Same thing. Are you gonna see people try to go grab whatever inventory that some of these car companies have? Absolutely, right? Because they're not going to want to deal with the higher prices on the foreign cars, and I think there's these type of industries that you'll feel it more than others. And yeah, I mean, I think companies will shift, right, their supply production, but that takes time, right? And
Yeah.
you can't necessarily just shift all the time because the quality is not the same. The raw ingredients and the kind of like pipeline just has to be developed, the same way, and you could see this kind of like eroding of quality in goods as some of these things happen as well, right? So, but I think, it's, I think it's a negotiating tactic, right? So, somewhere in the middle, I think we land, and it will then be the norm, and people will find ways around it, or people will buy less of it, or learn to deal with having to pay a little bit more for that item.
Fuck yeah, bro. Well, yeah, I know they said that it was a closed meeting, but fucking, you keep hearing about all these leaks that are happening. All these different things. I mean, we got Telegram chats. I mean, we got whistleblowers from there. Just enemies of the state, really. But I got some actual footage of what happened. What happened in that meeting. And it is the folks at Walmart going after.
They did say there was a WWF screaming match between Elon and Dissent in the White House. So I think that's the video you're pulling up, right?
Yeah, well, no, it's different. This is Walmart actually kind of attacking Trump and the tariffs at the same time. Let me see what I got here. Let's see if I can bring it up. What do we have here? Oh yeah, here it is. This is it.
My gosh, Lord.
Yeah, don't go to Walmart with those games.
These Walmart folks ain't playing, bro.
You taking on two?
Yeah, bro, that's Trump and the tariffs. Walmart is like, we ain't having it here, bro.
Would you even try to take my board bagel out of my hand? Yeah. That's what I'm gonna be looking like right there. One hand.
Oh yeah, I just thought it was a great clip. I tried to find more, but they're starting to get harder.
It's so messed up. None of his work homies are coming to help him. Right? Like, girls clocked in. Come on,
bro. Locked in and clocked in, bro. I mean, come on.
He's about to give him the discount. Boop boop.
I know. I wonder if they call. I wonder if he can consider himself a paid fighter now. You know what I mean? Since he was basically doing that on the clock.
Yeah, Sam Walton would be proud.
There you go, bro. That's yeah, man. That's standing on business for the company. You know what I'm saying?
He probably got fired the next day.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
You think the next day they let him work the rest of the shift, and we're like,
yeah, just stock out that pallet, and then you can go home permanently.
Beautiful, man. Ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
No, that was good. Appreciate all the intake and the insight that you had, Jason. And yeah, this is the format that Lord brings us to. He walks us down our financial woes and then brings us into these public companies and their viral moments. So
I figured there was something, right? I figured there was something.
I thought we were gonna get through the whole show without one, but Lord was like, no,
can't end the show on that note.
Yeah, dude.
I always love hearing from you, Jason. It was so good to see you, hang out with you again, just like the old days. It's crazy that this is Financial Literacy Month, and this has been the craziest week of the market since COVID. It's been the craziest, month in the market since COVID. It's been the craziest time between just everything trade wars, terror. We have so much going on right now, and all of it happening on Financial Literacy Month is very on brand. I kind of love it.
Happy April.
Happy fucking April. Yeah, dude. Beautiful, man. Hey, Jason, thank you so much for being a part of today's episode. We look forward to having you at Not NFT NYC.
Yeah.
Love fucking whatever it is that you're planning for Ape Fest, we will help you
We'll be there.
with whatever the fuck it is that you need.
Excited for it.
Yeah, dude, we're fucking stoked. But that's gonna wrap it up for us. I don't have any fucking music for you guys tonight. I'm a little sad about that. We're gonna have to figure out that tech issue. It will be the next upgrade that we get here in the studio. But ladies and gentlemen, have fun, be safe, do community service. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Bye.